Madam Clerk.
Item
Madam Clerk.
Item D, Chair's remarks.
None at this time. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item C, approval of the minutes from the October 14, 2025 meeting.
Motion is in order. Moved. It's been moved and supported. Are we using the tablets? Okay.
Keep going. I'll catch you after.
All those in favors? Signify by saying aye. Those opposed? The item carries. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item D, unfinished business. There is none listed. Moving to item E under new business. Item number 1, reported from the full board meeting held on October 23rd, 2025, an ordinance to amend Chapter 129 of the Wayne County Code of Ordinances, the fees ordinance to amend Article 2, Register of Deeds, Section 129-31 to increase certain fees for entering and recording documents with the Office of the Wayne County Register of Deeds.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And at this time, the chair will recognize the Register of Deeds, Mr. Youngblood, and any staff persons or leadership he has with him.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And beside me is my Chief Deputy, Mr. Harry Kalogerakis. Thank you for asking us to come up for this discussion. And I'd also like you to realize that you were in the papers today as the helper, the assistant giving me full support of the mortgage and deed fraud. We called upon the feds a couple of years ago, and today they announced 2 indictments. So that would not have happened without this esteemed body. Thank you very much for allowing me to bring that to the proper authorities. It is, and there's more to come. Today, I'm asking for a rate increase in the Register of Deeds recording charges. Not in my 25 years of term has there been an increase. The last increase, I believe, was in 1998. As you know, your own families, as well as the county budget, has had significant increases since then, as has mine. But unfortunately, as the charter requires it, the Register of Deeds office is self-funded. So when we run into a deficit, fortunately, we have the county to fall back on so that our expenses are paid. This year, we expect our deficit to be $2.5 million. That's unfortunate. I feel bad about that. We've had a tremendous amount of cost expenses reduced. As you know, we reduced a number of things, such as the fraud team we had to disband because there were no funding available for that. Pardon me? Oh, yes, okay. Let me check that. Thank you. We have some technical difficulties. Just one moment. Is that better? Are we good to go?
Yes, we are. You can continue.
Thank you very much for your help. So we've had a deficit this year. We're projecting we've had a deficit last year, and we don't see any increase in our funding. Our funding is primarily recordings. That's the deeds, that's the mortgages. And unfortunately, with the interest rates and the economy as it has been, the interest rates have been high. When the interest rates are high, the recordings go down. The economics are such that it affects our fees. We can no longer provide the services as we, in this type of leadership, require for our constituents. So our analysis shows us that if we follow the suit of every other county in this great state at $30, we will be able to absorb all our costs and continue without being a burden to the county. So that's why I'm here today, and I'd love to address any questions.
At this time, we do know that you made the first presentation during the budget hearing and gave us strong rationale regarding it. And it was at that meeting that we began working with our staff to have this ordinance amended and brought before us after it was reviewed by our council and the chair. And so at this time, I'd like to ask if there are any questions from any of the committee members or commissioners. Any questions? There being none, a motion has been made by Commissioner Bay. Right, a motion has been made by Commissioner Baydoun. Yeah, oh, who had that hand up? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, our counsel, Ms. Johnson.
Through the chair to this honorable body, I just want to note that the effective date of this ordinance will be December 1 of 25.
Thank you for that.
So it'll be revised accordingly.
Thank you. A motion's been made by Commissioner Baydoun and supported by Commissioner Anderson to recommend approval to the full board of this amendment to the ordinance. You may please vote. Chair votes yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Thank you all.
Yes. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 2, requesting commission approval of the appointment of Elizabeth Lawton to the position of Deputy Chief Financial Officer for the Department of Management and Budget.
Good morning.
Hi, Jeanette Colstar, Chief of Staff for Management and Budget here. John Wallace, CFO, was not able to attend this meeting. He had a prior appointment that he could not reschedule with his daughter, so he sends his regards.
He did inform us. Yep. Thank you.
So again, Jeanette Colstar here to present and for your consideration. Appointment of Betsy Laughlin. Betsy has nearly 20 years experience in budget, finance, accounting, audit, internal controls, and process improvement and project management. Her private sector experience supporting government agencies is something we really look for in our leadership position. We're pleased to see her resume and her eagerness to work for Wayne County. She initially was brought to us as the correspondence. We've indicated in the correspondence these last few months. She was brought to us initially for the budget director position. But just to interview for the budget director position earlier this spring. We realized that she was a better fit for a different role in M&B. And so that's what we're presenting here today is her role as Deputy CFO for M&B. And I'll turn it over to Betsy to introduce herself and answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me here today.
Morning.
Elizabeth, but I go by Betsy Laughlin. Thank you, Jeanette, for the warm welcome. I'm very excited to potentially work for Wayne County. As she mentioned, I have a little over 18 years of finance, accounting experience. I'm a CPA certified here in Michigan. And I am a passionate leader in terms of collaboration and communication. And I have about 12 years supporting government agencies. So I'm excited to get back to supporting constituents from a finance and budget perspective and working collaboratively with you all.
Thank you. Just want to ask, in your previous roles, are you familiar with working working and reporting out line item budgets?
Yes, I have been, mostly for FEMA and worked directly with them for about 3 years.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Any additional questions? I'd like to entertain a motion. Pardon me. This one here, I want to do standalone. Yeah. Okay. We'll do this as standalone and then all the rest will be one at the end. Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Marecki and supported by Commissioner on the right, Commissioner Anderson. Okay, all those in favor, please vote. Those opposed as well.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
As I just stated, the remaining items will be voted at the end. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 3, requesting commission approval of a resolution approving the Michigan Department of Treasury Form L4029 for the 2025 tax rate request.
Scott.
Good morning, Scott Van den Merkel, Director of Assessment and Equalization for Wayne County. The agenda item that you have before you relating to the area of property assessment and taxation is the winter tax resolution. This is for all line items of the county's levy for the year, except for the charter operating millage, which was levied, as you'll recall, on the summer bills. So this is the other 4 line items for this tax resolution. So this would include the veterans millage and the 3 extra voted millages, jails, general operating, and parks. Everything is in good order. The millages have been properly reduced according to the Headley Amendment. And I would ask for your review and consideration for the resolution to levy them on the winter tax bills at the local level in anticipation of this December 1st tax billing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for all the fine work that you do in getting this information to us. At this time, any questions? Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda.
Item number 4, requesting commission approval of a 1-year comparable source professional services contract between Charter County of Wayne and Korn Ferry.
So I did have a conversation with head of HR, but also the relevant department, management and budget, as we have been talking often about contracts. And so expressed again the thought that we should have the talent within our departments, within Wayne County, in order to not have so many contracts. And so they've been advised as it relates to that. And so I don't expect to see too many more of these. They explained the unique circumstances regarding the need for this. And so at that, I would like to ask who is here present to speak to this item.
Jeanette Colsar with Management and Budget Chief of Staff.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And so can you explain to my colleagues what was anything, just give an overall summary as it relates to the need for this and specifically that this is just a 1-year contract.
Sure. So Korn Ferry, an executive search recruiting firm. They're essentially headhunters for these difficult to recruit positions. So M&B has used Korn Ferry in the past. We used it for the budget director position, which again was difficult to recruit for, was posted a number of times. A few qualified candidates initially with our internal process here. So that's why it's an example of how and when Korn Ferry is used. So this contract that before this committee is for a 1-year. I believe it's the amount is estimated based on 6 positions. Again, for these difficult to recruit positions, and again, the fee would be paid upon if we initiated a search with Korn Ferry for certain positions within M&B.
Okay. Any questions on Commissioner Peterson Mayberry?
Thank you. Through the chair. So good. Thank you for your commentary around the contracts and the whole purpose of that. I do have a question as it relates to the fees for this. I know that in one space it mentioned there was a 30% processing fee, but then in another space there's something that says 20% on receive a fee not to exceed 30%, but the fee shall not exceed 20% on the total first-year compensation. So I guess that's my question. I know there was language that stated that if the employee leaves voluntarily or fired before 90 days, is that fee, have we lost that fee from what we've paid? Because the only thing that I saw language-wise is that they would do another search at no cost. But so but we would lose the 30% or the 20%? And can you verify which one it is?
So the 30% is the 30% fee we would pay, right, once that person was hired and brought on. If for some reason they left within those 90 days, like you just explained, then we would initiate another search with Korn Ferry, but then we wouldn't pay that fee again for that position.
Okay, and then the 20% is on their first year compensation on top of the 30?
It's just 130%. It's either 30% or 20%. Of the 20% if it's like internally referred somehow. If it was, I can confirm that answer, but there's a difference between the 20% or 30% a different circumstance, but it's not both. It's
Can you
either or.
verify, is there's language that says, it's not clear in the language that was
Okay.
presented? Thank you.
Yep, but
And
there's,
that's page, it's gonna be page 1 of 4 under the fiscal assessment. So
Okay.
it's item number, right under compensation.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either or. It's not both by any means.
And if that's the case, when do we decide that it's the 20 or the third? Like when do,
Based on the candidate.
but they're all director level positions, right?
The fee was based on director level or finance directors. So division director or finance directors. So the fee is based on the annual salary.
Okay, I'm still not clear how we decide if it's 20 or 30, but we can talk
There is
offline
criteria, and
after.
I don't have the contract in front of me, I apologize, but there is criteria that determines whether it's 20% or 30% based
Okay.
on the candidate and the position.
Can you get that to us?
Right now?
Or no, or me even. I don't know if anybody
Yeah,
else has
yeah,
the
I mean, I can get
question.
it, I can confirm with procurement and get it.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
thank you, Mr. Chair.
by the end of the day, for sure.
Okay, Commissioner Anderson, and then Commissioner Clemente, and then Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess had not heard what the reason for why we need 6. Are we replacing 6 positions that left the county?
No, so again, it was an estimate based on a potential need. So in M&B, we have 7 divisions, including administration, and those divisions are run typically by division director and assistant division director. We also have a division that's compiled of 6 finance directors, and so we were thinking estimates based on a few of those positions. So again, if we're looking at total M&B, which I don't envision we would need to recruit for all of these positions within 1 year by any means, it was an estimate for 6. And again, we've got 14 plus 6, 20 potential positions. But again, we were estimating it based on a subset of that 6, including the deputy CFO.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Commissioner Clemente, then Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Chair, just going off of Commissioner Anderson, I hope we don't have that big of turnover that we have to
Same
worry
here.
about this. And second, that 30/20, shouldn't that be stated in the contract, what the criteria, maybe I missed it, but shouldn't that be in the contract?
I would
what
think
the-
it, again, I can confirm definitely if it's not in there, but there is
I know
criteria for
that
20% or 30%.
We just approved someone to go to full board, Betsy Laughlin, I think, and it says there that hers is 30.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just reiterating that should be something we should
Of course.
definitely have. Thank you.
That makes sense. Mhm.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just to clarify, the 20% is going to be paid if it's internal as well. Is that what you stated?
Again, there's criteria for when the 20% is used to calculate the fee, and there's criteria for when the 30% is used to calculate the fee. I don't remember exactly what that is. I will get that to you as soon as I go back to my desk and look at it.
Okay, so if it's an internal hire, our HR department doesn't work with that individual?
Again, if Korn Ferry brings us a candidate, then that's where
Right.
the fee would incur. But if it was someone that wasn't brought on by Korn Ferry, then no.
Okay, because you said something about
There
internal.
is some sort of internal language, I believe, for the 20%, but again, how that internal is defined, I'm not exactly sure. So that's why I need to look back at the contract and other
Does our
language to clarify.
HR department know historically how we have, or if we've paid anything for internal?
Like internal referrals,
Right,
I'm not sure. That would be
okay.
a
Commissioner
PHR
McCormick?
question.
So yes,
Commissioner
if I,
McCormick,
to clarify that. Uh-huh.
our commission counsel
Oh, great, great.
has
Thank
to be recognized.
Through the chair, I'll just read what the contract says because there is language in the contract. So the contract says that the contractor will get a fee not to exceed 30% of the total first-year base compensation for each individual hire. So it's 30% for each individual hire. And then it says the fee shall not exceed 20% of the first-year compensation of each individual hire for whom the county sourced the candidate. So I guess if the county refers the candidate, we're still paying them 20%. I don't know what
Okay,
county
why would
source
that be?
means, but that's what the contract currently says. I'm not clear what county source the candidate means and why would you pay someone 20% if it's a
And-
county source
And that's
candidate?
what I'm trying to clarify. Why would we pay? And have we historically paid? Does it, I mean, why would we?
Okay, let me ask, is someone here from council, the general counsel's office who negotiated this? Anyone here? Okay, that's a very important question. I would like to ask our council if we could have some conversation prior to, yes, or have you already?
I have not. We can try to have conversation. The problem is we probably couldn't get a contract amended between now and tomorrow. Normally, we would have a week between committee and full board being tomorrow. It's unlikely that we'll probably be able to get that resolved and changed if necessary.
But we can pass this for the day, if that's not a problem, for the commissioners. Okay.
There's no urgency in this, is it? Right?
No, because
like
they're
for
going to
today?
basically be, again, a recruiting process, correct?
Way, right.
Oh, I'm asking,
So Betsy is part of that. So
no, I'm saying Betsy, we're moving Betsy forward. No, oh, excuse me, maybe.
Through the chair, it's our understanding, and this is actually part of the comment I had in the analysis, that there is an existing Korn Ferry contract that expired on September 14th, and we were advised that the new director, Deputy Director Betsy, was retained and recruited under that contract,
Correct.
which is a separate contract from this one. So I just want to be clear and make sure the information we were provided is accurate. This contract would be separate. I'm not sure if anyone has been recruited under the existing contract, or the proposed contract, but the prior contract that expired on September 14th, we were told that she was retained under that contract, recruited under that contract.
and that's correct.
Yes,
Oh,
because she
okay.
was pulled, because I remember that item coming and was pulled, and now you're bringing it back under that contract for the record. Okay, so.
And
So
correct.
she will, so for clarification, she will be moving forward tomorrow based on the action recommendation of this committee. Yeah, for clarification. Okay, so Madam Clerk, reflect that this item will be a pass for the day to allow for, yes, no motion. No, it's going to be part of the overall motion that comes at the end, that this item will be passed for the day, council.
So just one last comment, and I did speak to the department regarding this, with regards to the way the procurement ordinance is set up. When you have a vendor and they're performing the same service for the county, you're not allowed to, you have to make sure that those amounts are cumulative. So whether you do an amendment, like they had a contract that was executed by the CEO, it was amended. It was total of 90-something thousand, so it never came to the commission. And then we were presented with this new contract for 329 with no reference of the other contract. Well, the problem with that is that in this case, because it's 329, it made it here, but had it been another $90,000 contract, you would have never seen it. So I did have a conversation with the department to make sure they understood that they can't treat every recruitment contract just because it's different positions as a separate contract. Otherwise, you would have a separate contract for every position, and you may never see it as a commission. I think I got that understanding clear, though I didn't talk to the deputy here. I did talk to someone else in the department. I believe we're clear on that, but I'll make sure of that and revisit that since it's going to be passed and come back at the next committee.
Absolutely, and also make sure that there is clear language in the ordinance. Is there some reason why they came to that conclusion?
Well, I was advised that it was that decision was determined by someone who's no longer with the county. But those who are currently here were in agreement and understand that how the ordinance is supposed to be followed in.
Madam Council, I'd like to ask for you, put that understanding in writing, so it'll be memorialized and for future changes. Thank you. Yes, Commissioner McCormick.
One other question. The contract was a comparable source. Do we have or had we bidded it out or, I mean, I'm just wondering, because this is out of California. Is it a reason why we were working with a company outside of
And there were.
Wayne County or?
Right, and there were definitely, there was correspondence to staff specific to those types of questions. And there definitely were internal firms that were reviewed, as well as other statewide firms, but it was based on their experience and their expertise that they were chosen. But the other local firms were definitely part of that comparable source.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Any additional questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are now moving to the agenda, item number 8. A resolution authorizing Eric Sabri, Wayne County Treasurer, to exercise the same powers and duties necessary to add a property tax administration fee, late penalty charge, and interest to all taxes collected as a bonded treasurer for the city of Highland Park.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jean-Pierre Adams, Chief Deputy Treasurer.
So what brings us here and why is this resolution necessary?
We find ourselves in the unfortunate position that Highland Park Treasurer has failed to obtain a bond as required under MCL 211.51. We typically will obtain a bond for the treasurer if they are not able to do so, but in this case, our bonding agent was unable to provide a bond. We have not collected any tax disbursements from Highland Park for the 2025 tax year to date. And 211.51 mandates that the county treasurer shall step into the role of the local treasurer in the event there is not a bond. Today, we are bringing before you the resolution required under 211.51 sub 1 that states that the county treasurer shall, with the resolution from the commission, be able to, let me get the exact wording for you, to add a property tax administration fee, a late penalty charge, and interest to all taxes as collected. And then that the excess of those fees then would go towards the expenses incurred in collection through the general fund of the county. So that's the resolution that's before you today.
So is this over and above the tax collection? The amounts collected from the taxes?
This is in addition to, yes.
In addition to, and so the citizens of Highland Park elect a treasurer with the expectation, elected or appointed, with the expectation of this person being able to collect charges and not incur any additional fees. My question for you, based on any statutory understanding, how long is a person able to not have a bond and continue to hold the position? And I'd like to further ask if by your understanding, the office without a bond? And if the individual can't perform the duties of the office, is there some determination as it relates to the, continuation of the person holding the office or some sort of vacancy occurring because of them not being able to execute this basic duty?
So I can answer one part, and the other part I have not done a legal analysis on. I would defer to Corporation Counsel for the legal analysis. But there is a statutory provision that provides that the local treasurer shall be bonded before they take office and the oath of office. In this instance, I believe that there may have been a bond that we obtained for a period of time last year that would have maybe covered, but I'm not sure. And then, so the election last year was November 5th of 2024. She would have had until December 10th to obtain such a bond.
I'm requesting our counsel, general counsel, and all relevant individuals to see whether or not there was a bond in December and whether or not that's relevant towards the person continuing to hold that office. Because if that person is not bonded and continue to hold that position, will you be back here, or this resolution will speak to any future collections?
This resolution speaks to any collections until such time as the city is able to appoint or elect a treasurer who is able to be bonded.
Just for an information item, I know we can't take any action as it relates to the treasurer, but would like some additional information as it relates to the status of that position. Just since we're taking this action and putting this fee on the residents of Highland Park. And I'll now recognize the commissioner from Highland Park, Commissioner Martha G. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This person is being paid.
Of that, I am not sure. We don't have access to the financial records, and that would go through their finance division rather than the treasurer's office.
I believe the person is being paid, but is really not at the office. And how did we come up with a rate that we're going to pay someone now?
Okay, so the rate is based on one of our staff members who would perform the duty, and it is the hourly rate of his current salary with the county. So it's our investment manager who has experience as a local treasurer, and he would provide those services for up to 20 hours per week. And that's his current salary per hourly rate.
You don't know whether or not we'll be paying the present person there and the new person that comes in. Will that
I
be
am
two
unaware of the
salaries?
status of the payments for the elected treasurer. I will say that this resolution allows us to assess fees that will cover the cost of our employee providing the collection services.
I get your point, Commissioner Scott. So that person's going to continue to get paid.
Yeah.
No deduction because of the fee that is going to be paying for your staff person to take over their duties.
Of that, I can't answer. I'm not sure, and that's beyond our purview.
Okay, so thank you, but I made a request for council to look further as relates to that position, and both councils, general counsel and our council. So any additional questions? Any additional question, Commissioner Anderson, and then Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair, I wondered, looking at that paragraph that we have in front of us, how do we ensure that the county receives the payment for the services of our employee?
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you.
It would be part of our collection process. So as we collect and then disperse through the county, I don't know if the body is aware of how current tax collections works through the treasurer's office, but for each local taxing authority, they disperse funds through the county treasurer to cover county taxes, the taxes for the authorities, the taxes for the school districts, and any other assessments that have to flow through the county. So that amount that we would then assess under 211.51 would flow through those disbursements into the general fund.
So that is collected when you're processing that tax revenue
That is correct.
before the city gets their dollars.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any additional question? Commissioner Baker McCormick, I forgot.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is there any idea why the treasurer isn't bonded? Did we investigate or?
We have some idea. We did not perform an investigation per se. We did attempt to have the treasurer bonded. There was some financial information that was required that I believe she was unable or unwilling to provide because of, I will say, some conflicts between the administration and the treasurer. And I don't know how specific we need
I
to
was
get at
just
this
wondering.
point, but because that information was not provided and there were some other issues, we were unable to get a bond for on her behalf.
So we have reached out and at this
Yes.
point, there's no traction and that's why we're here. Thank
Right.
you.
Mhm.
Okay, a member, Martha G. Scott is a member of this committee. Staff, I'm going to ask for us to request a discussion with the city mayor and elected officials to come to the committee to talk about the status of the position of the treasurer. So I would like that, if possible, for the next committee meeting to have the treasurer one, invite them, but also the mayor of that of Highland Park. Okay, Commissioner Clemente?
Thank you. Just for my knowledge, we just had an election yesterday. We might have some new treasurers in cities. Is there any type of rule, law, like how long a treasurer has to get bonded? And then who follows up on that to make sure it's done? Because we're talking, I think you said a year later that we're dealing with this. Thank you.
There is a law. It is MCL 41.77. And it requires the bonding to be filed, to be obtained prior to the filing of the oath of office and before entering upon the duties of the office.
And you did say that it was there, but then it went away or something?
I can't be exactly sure if we were in fact able to obtain a bond last year and what that period was for,
Okay.
if it would have carried forward or not.
So it's the treasurer's office responsibility
It
or
is
the
not.
city? Okay, so it's the city's responsibility to know that their treasurer is.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that.
So are you communicated with or given a copy of that bond for in any aspect of that treasurer or
Yes, we are.
treasurers conducting their duties?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you at some particular point would be made aware of whether they have a bond or don't have a bond.
So we were made aware, I can say, as early as April. And at that time, it was probably prior to April. But I will say in April, we were in communications with our bonding company with respect to the application. And we have attempted to work with them throughout, but once we discovered that they were not making any disbursements, it became imperative for the treasurer to step in and start collections.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to request, because of the revelation of this, if you would prepare a memo of indicating whether or not all of the treasurers under your purview or within Wayne County have bonds and the status of those bonds. Are there any additional questions? Commissioner Maraki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Has this ever happened before that you're aware of?
I believe it happened one time before I started with the county. I remember speaking with one of the former deputies of finance. And it was, I believe it was, I don't want to speak. It was one community where they were not able to provide a bond, and they failed to collect. And the county ended up placing a judgment levy on the taxes of the citizens of that community so that they could then recoup the tax dollars that were not collected properly. So we
We
want to
definitely want to
avoid
get to
that.
that point.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. Any additional questions? Any additional questions? We will be looking forward to the memo as relates to the status of bonds associated with treasurers within Wayne County and the memos that will be coming from Corp Counsel and our council associated with this issue. Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Thank you.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are now returning to the agenda. Item number 5, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2025-35-132, decertifying revenue in the county health fund.
Are there any questions associated with this item? Any questions? Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 6, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2025-35-137, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 7 will be discussed at a future meeting. We're returning to the agenda. Item number 9, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2025-35-126, reallocating expenditures in the county health fund.
Who's here to speak to this?
Yep, just
Who's here to speak to this? Is anyone present or online?
Yes, can you hear me? I'm online. Can you all hear me?
Technical difficulties, and we will try to reach them by telephone. First, I'd like to ask, are there any questions associated with this item? Just wanted to get some
Kamau, you may speak now.
Oh, perfect. Well, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Kamal Keparu, Finance Director for the Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services. This budget adjustment is just really reconciling or making sure we allocate salaries across the board to the different business units. That's it in summary.
Okay. So are there any additional questions associated with this item? There being none, thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
May we have a motion for items 3 through 9?
Motion is in order. It's been moved by Commissioner Baidoon, supported by Commissioner Baker McCormick. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? This item passes. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item F, such other matters.
Let the record reflect, let's indicate, it passed for the
That's for
day.
today, number 4.
Number 4 is passed for the day for the record. Next item, yes.
Through the chair to this body, please be advised that the account number is wrong for number 2. So it needs to be returned back to the department and resubmitted before tomorrow. Staff just noticed it, and I believe Terrence has already had a conversation with the department.
Without objection, let that be done. Without objection from the committee, let that be the intent of this motion, that this include
Right.
being forwarded back to the department for the correction.
Yes, so we missed doing contingent upon, but we don't have to revisit the vote. Just wanted this body to be aware that we caught that and that it'll be fixed between now and full board.
Yeah, not declared it yet, so that's a good time. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so that's the intent of this motion. Madam Clerk, can you close out the motion? Motion passes. Motion passes. Next item.
Item F, such other matters that may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none.
Item G, public comments.
At this time, Madam Clerk, I'd like for you to attempt to open up the microphones for those joining us by Zoom and telephone. You may also indicate in the chat if you like to address this committee at this time. Madam Clerk?
There are no hands on Zoom and no emails were received.
And I'd like to ask, is there anyone present who would like to address this committee? Anyone present? Public comment is closed. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item H, adjournment.
Motion is in order. So moved by Commissioner Baidoon, supported by Commissioner Marecki. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the meeting stands adjourned.